This is my first pick. This is a song called High Road by Zach Bryan, the country breakout star Zach Bryan.
Yeah.
Do you guys know, this song just came out. Do you guys know anything about Zach Bryan?
I personally know that he is one of like many country artists that have a first and last name that are both first names.
Yeah.
And this
Luke
guy,
Bryan,
yeah,
Zach Brown band.
right, exactly. But this guy happens to be like legit like 5'6".
Oh, really? Is he
Yeah,
a
or
small-
5'7".
small
I'm
guy?
5'6", so I'm just gonna put that out
Short
there and
kings
own it.
Yeah,
rise
short
up.
kings.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, similarly, it just like that name, white country guy,
Yeah.
just blends like whatever gray area I have in my brain,
Yeah.
they just all lump together.
That's how I felt too. I remember it was like Zach Bryan. I was like, "Is that Luke Bryan?" And everyone's like, "No, it's Zach Bryan." I'm like,
Toby
"That's
Keith.
Zach Brown." They're like, "No." I'm like,
This- a
Dirks
different
Bentley. They're like,
Luke Combs,
Luke
Yeah.
Combs.
Alan Jackson. They're like, okay, now we're
Okay,
just-
now you're just fucking with me.
But I did notice that he got picked up by like Pitchfork and stuff like that. That's
Yeah.
the only reason that
Oh.
he became on my radar. Is I'm like, what is this? Like
Yeah.
these guys that like I knew from high school like this stuff.
Yeah.
And now it's on Pitchfork getting like a 7-1.
Yeah, it seemed like
Ridiculous.
he just kind of rose to popularity out of nowhere. I just like heard the name, and then the next day it was like Pitchfork review, Fantana review, like good scores and everything, and like everyone online is like, "Wow, this guy's great." This is the first song I've heard of his. I mostly checked it out because of all of the backlash going on right now between him and a woman named Brianna Chickenfry.
Yeah. Brianna LaPeglia or whatever is her real
Is that
last
her real name?
Yeah, she got famous via Vine because she made some sort of Vine of like chicken fries or something, and then she just became Brianna Chickenfry, and
Yeah.
then got signed Barstool.
The random humor Vine.
Yeah. Yep.
Chicken fry, something like that.
Yeah.
Big
Probably.
Chungus energy.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess she was dating Zach Bryan, and then I guess they broke up because he's like secretly a giant piece of shit.
Huge piece of shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
From what I understood, last week was so much better when I knew none of this.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I look
I
back.
know so much.
I
now.
looked back 7 days ago,
Yeah.
and Zach Bryan and Chicken Fry were just
Yeah.
like not even a glisten in my
It was
eye.
nothing.
And there was hope in our country.
Yep.
The
Just kidding. Sorry.
The,
Sorry.
Yeah. So from what I understand, she has a podcast with Dave Portnoy.
She
Yes.
does.
Who I know is the owner of Barstool Sports. All I know him as is the guy who eats pizza.
Yeah.
And Zach Bryan puts out an Instagram post, says, "Hey, me and Chicken Fry broke up.
Yeah.
Totally amicable. Everything's great." And then she posted a video like crying, be like, he literally told me over the phone we were broken up without telling me. He goes to Instagram.
Yeah.
And now there's where she said that he was willing to give her a $12 million
$12
NDA.
million.
She turned it down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now Dave Portnoy is on his ass.
I
Yeah.
know. He is making these. So he made a diss track.
He's entered the music game.
Yeah, he's entered the
He's
music
entered
game.
our sphere of
Yeah,
influence.
now you're coming into our dungeon,
Yeah.
Portnoy. Yeah, he made this diss track with another Barstool guy called
Smallest Man.
Yeah, because it's like a reference to that Taylor Swift song. Because Dave Portnoy is like a giant Taylor Swift fan. I don't know if you guys knew that.
So
but-
I learned today at work, I was talking about it. I was like, why is Portnoy a Swiftie? Because
Yeah.
like he doesn't seem like the demo. He's just a guy who loves football and pizza or whatever. And
It's rich people.
and cocaine.
rich people camaraderie.
Yes,
They're just
but
like, we got to stick together.
So, but Portnoy hates Kanye. And Kanye has dissed Taylor many times.
Okay.
So therefore he sides with Taylor and hates Kanye. And he's a Swiftie.
Interesting.
Or something.
Yeah, so they're dissing Zach Bryan. The song, we can't play it.
Yeah.
I wanted to play it, but apparently it gets taken down wherever it appears.
Yeah.
Well, from what I heard was that their third co-host on whatever podcast
The
it's called,
BFFs pod.
the
Yeah.
BFFs pod, he has a record contract
Yeah.
So he breached his own
He
record
breached his
contract,
contract.
to make the diss
Yeah.
track with Dave Portnoy.
Yeah.
So his record company continually
Yeah.
takes down the song, which is called "Tiniest Man."
The smallest,
Tiny,
smallest
the
man.
tiny
smallest
penis.
wiener.
So,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
The song is
micro
called
there.
Tiny Penis.
And then so Portnoy put out another diss track
Mm-hmm.
a couple days ago called "Cowboy Diddy." What's
Country
it called?
Diddy.
Country Diddy.
Diddy spelled like P. Diddy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which is just in the title, an insane accusation to put on
Crazy.
someone who is just an asshole.
Yeah.
I mean, like, Zach Bryan seems to be.
Well, he's
just-
like abusive and like whatever.
Yes,
Yeah.
I mean, he's abusive, like emotionally, but, like,
reprehensible.
yes.
Like we don't stand by Zach Bryan.
Yeah, like just classic piece of shit boyfriend behavior. I
Yeah.
saw a video of him like getting arrested. He's like very entitled with his fame, I guess. Like the
Yeah.
officer was like, "We need your address," and he was like, "I'll beat your fucking ass." And then
Yeah.
like he
That's
got
what's hot.
arrested for like no reason at
Yeah.
all. So yeah, this guy's an asshole. But to call him Country
Diddy. Yeah.
it's like, do you know what Diddy was doing, dude?
Yeah,
Just because you're friends with this Brianna Chickenfry girl
Yeah.
doesn't mean you can be like, you're also a rapist. Like, not cool.
Yeah, you're also a sex trafficker.
You're also a sex trafficker.
Country Epstein.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't really know whose dog to pick in this fight. I mean, I guess Zach Bryan is not a cool guy to be around.
mean, you got to side with Chicken Fry on this one.
I guess I'm
'cause-
siding with Chicken Fry, but I just don't. I don't want to. I don't want to actually side with anybody. I think
Yeah.
this whole thing
Oh,
is.
yeah.
I think I'm Switzerland. I'm
yeah.
too old and
Yeah.
have too niche of interests
Yeah.
to be weighing in.
It
This
feels-
this is not in my pay grade.
No,
So,
it is not.
I was-
Between the NDAs and I guess we'll talk about the song. Not a good song.
It sounds like Crash by Dave Matthews.
Sounds like Crash by Dave Matthews, and also like the result of Folklore and whatever the other one,
Yeah,
like Taylor
yeah.
Swift, of this like melding of
Yeah.
indie and country that just keep the hillbilly shit out of my indie rock,
Right, yeah.
and keep the indie rock
Keep
out
it
of my
separate.
hillbilly shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just a little backstory too on this podcast, I guess, is the whole reason that Portnoy, I could be wrong, but the whole reason Portnoy is even like, to me, Portnoy is like one of the biggest figures in like the internet,
Yeah.
right? And he's doing this podcast with two random individuals, this younger dude. So apparently he brought those two people on because it like the scheme of the podcast, and they were gonna cancel the podcast. Then this happened, and they like fired it back up again.
Portnoy was like, "You ain't taking that 12 mil.
Yeah,
No.
We're gonna turn this into 13
13
mil."
12.5.
But the whole
mil.
concept of the podcast is like he's this old curmudgeon, right? And those two are like, "Hey Dave, here's a TikTok trend. Isn't that stupid and funny?" And that like they're the young people tapped in, and they tell him about it. Ha 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 ha.
Yeah, it's like a 50-year-old man talking to two like 22-year-olds.
Yes. Yeah.
And like that's what this whole thing seemed like too. I was like, Portnoy, what are you even doing?
Right.
Man? Go like cook dinner. Go
Yeah.
do something else. Like
Yeah.
this is not for you.
I think Chicken Fry's like a little bit older,
Oh, okay.
but either way,
Yeah,
still.
I mean, yeah. Portnoy should just not be even involved. This whole thing it felt like I was in middle school again. I
Yeah.
felt like
Yeah.
some person who like the football player and the cheerleader broke up, and then like her one buddy who sells her weed sometimes made a rap song.
Well,
and the
the-
whole school
and I'm-
heard about it.
and
It
I'm
was
a-
like, yo!
Yeah, and I'm over there like misspelling Zeppelin and Led Zeppelin on my notebook, being like, "Did you hear about chicken fried?" You know, like
Yeah.
I learned about so much shit that
Yeah,
I
dude.
like didn't want to know about or
Yeah.
care about.
I
all
listened
stupid.
to the podcast, and I had never listened to it before. I didn't even know it existed. And
Yeah.
I listened to 45 minutes of this girl just talking about Zach Bryan and all the horrible shit he did. He sounds like a horrible guy.
He's a horrible guy,
yeah.
and I think the ultimate irony is the song that you picked. It's the whole record is out, right? It's not a single,
No, I think
Yeah.
that is a single.
I think
Oh,
it's
is
just
it?
a single.
And
This
it's just-
actually might be like a demo that
and
he
it's
like
called
released.
High Road.
Yeah.
Come
and
on, brother.
there's a line about being like, she's gonna haunt you forever.
Barstool
Like,
Sports killed
she
my.
didn't sign the
NDA.
NDA.
Yeah. It's like,
I mean-
she certainly will haunt you forever.
Yeah.
She's fucking going on her tour.
They offered her like a house in a
Yeah.
New York apartment, and she's like, no. Honestly, mega badass to just be like, nah,
Yeah.
I'm good. Fuck you. I want to smear you for the rest of time.
Yeah, it is cool because I don't see the value in this schmo,
No.
in this bozo, Zach Bryan.
Yeah, fuck
This
him.
guy's a bozo, and she's better off. I think.
The smallest dick.
I think we should make a diss track about Zach Bryan.
Yeah, I heard that one song you made and a bunch of conjecture from different online news sources, and I feel like I can make a personal
could do it
judgment on
too.
your life. How about
We're
that?
gonna do it too.
I sat with my friends
Yeah.
and called you a piece of shit. I've never met you. I'm hearing things,
We're
from,
gonna make fun of him for being bald.
Yeah.
It's like,
in the
brother.
song. It's like, dude,
Yeah.
you guys, look at you.
Yeah, you're 5'6", which is actually not bad.
It's actually, you guys are tall guys.
You guys talked over the whole song, though.
You talked over the whole damn song.
Dumbass.
But yeah, Zach Bryan. I got nothing to say to
More
your,
like Zach
your sorry
crying.
ass. Yeah. Let's move on.